kitchen.
You started?
No, I can add it.
I was walking in.
Yeah, no, we're at it.
You should leave that in. That'd be funny.
Yeah, you do whatever you want. It's your video.
We want to be funny.
Okay.
You know?
You know what? It's your video. You do
But yeah, no, that's all added.
Okay.
I can fix all that. You cut it. Yes,
All right,
you
girls,
adjust
let's
it.
get going.
Okay.
Okay, welcome friends to my kitchen. Here I have my two sister-in-laws. We're more like sisters. And they want to learn how to make cornbread, Portuguese cornbread. So that's what I'm going to teach them today. So they're going to see how I do it. They're going to have questions, and that's what we're going to do. So in here I have cornmeal flour. This is Portuguese cornmeal flour. It's not, you won't find in American. This is Portuguese. That's 2 cups and a half of all-purpose flour. Regular all-purpose flour. You can mix it. And in here, I have my yeast. This is my starter. I have a video already how I make this, but I'm going to explain it to them. So I put 1 cup of cornmeal flour, 1 cup of regular flour. I put 2 tablespoons of yeast. And then water, and depending the flour, sometimes you have to adjust it. You want it kind of like this, and then you put this in a jar, in a container. If you're going to use it within the next couple of days, you can put it over in your counter, and you see making all these bubbles. The bubbles, that means the yeast is fermenting. If you're not going to use for a while, just throw it in the back of your refrigerator, and it can last there for years.
Wow.
This is just like a sourdough starter, but I'm using the yeast to kind of, the sourdough, they have to leave it in the counter, just the flour itself.
And it ferments.
It ferments it, you know.
Oh.
And it has a smell it.
Yeah.
It does smell that fermented,
Yes.
you know. So I've had this in my fridge for at least a year. And then what do? The day that you want to use it, you take it the day before, put it in your counter, and then you add 1/2 cup of flour, of both flours, and you add a little bit more water to kind of just wake it up.
Okay.
You know, and then and then just leave it on the counter overnight, or whatever the day you're going to use, early in the morning, so it kind of wakes up and you start seeing those bubbles.
So it makes them active again.
Yes, and I took this last night, and I added that 1/2 cup of flour this morning, and add a little bit more warm water, so it kind of wakes up. So that's that. And then here I have 2 teaspoons of salt, and I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of sugar. Sugar and ferment, they're best buddies.
Okay.
When you add sugar to ferment, it wakes up.
So you already added all that.
I just added there. In here is just the ferment. There's no salt. No, there's just the yeast, the 2 flours, and water.
Yes. Okay.
That's all. In here we have the salt, and then the sugar and the flours. And then we need really boiling water.
Okay.
And then now we're gonna
stir.
You're gonna use this. It'll be easier.
Okay.
And be very careful. This is very hot. So, I have here about 6 cups. I'm making a smaller amount than what I had, because I figure we don't need a bigger. We just want something small. You guys,
I don't know. I love this.
yeah, but you can make, this is so easy. You can make this in no time.
But does this make like how many loaves?
I'll probably make 3,
Oh.
you know.
Yeah.
And I'll add the rest of the water. And at this point, you just want not to see no flour. You want the flour to be all incorporated in that moist. That's all.
All right.
And then we're gonna let this rest, because right now we can't do anything. And then if I put this in there, it's gonna kill the yeast.
Okay.
Yeast don't like hot water. So whenever you do bread, you always go to warm water not
All
hot.
right.
So now we leave it there, and it's just gonna cool. And then when it's enough for you to put your hands, then we'll add this.
Okay.
And that's it.
Wow.
It's very easy.
This is
Very.
But so you can do this in the morning within an hour and a half. You have cornbread.
Oh, that's
wow.
awesome.
From the start.
From the start, from this, you know, you can even. I've seen people put outside. I'm not putting outside because
To
birds.
cool it off?
To cool it off.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
Your counter's cold.
yeah. And that's why I said I spread it out in my bowl,
Mm-hmm.
so it kind of cools off, and then you just
That's interesting.
yeah. Then you add this. Once you add the ferment, you want to wait maybe 30 minutes
Mm-hmm.
to start seeing. And what the dough does, it doesn't bubble. It grows a little bit, but it start making those designs like, you know, on top of the cornbread, you see like little wells.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
cracks.
Yes. So when you start seeing that on this,
Oh.
it's total different than the regular,
Bread.
you know,
Yeah.
bread.
Yeah.
So
Oh, interesting. Okay.
yeah. So
Like that real crusty.
yeah. And then you just put it in the oven,
Mm-hmm.
and you want a hot oven. When my mom cooked, she always cooked the cornbread first because you want the hottest oven. So then she would put
So this is traditional Portuguese
cornbread. Yeah. My mom would have this
It's one of my favorites.
under the counter, under a counter covered all the time. And the funny thing is, she would put, it looks like a pearl onion, but it was not a pearl onion, it was a garlic. And I don't know the reason for it, but she would always put it one in there. I don't know if it helped the
Oh.
ferment or if it give a different flavor. I have no idea. I've asked my sisters,
They don't know.
they have no idea
You
why.
have to do one with, one
Yeah.
without.
Yeah.
See if
But I
there's-
haven't seen a garlic that looks, you know, this was just looked like a pearl onion, but it was garlic.
Oh, you know what that is? That's an immature garlic.
Garlic piece.
Because I used to pick the garlic from
Yes.
my garden, and if you pick it prematurely, it's like a little. It's like
Yeah, it looks like a little ball
Yes.
of an onion,
Yes.
like a pearl onion, but
and
it
it's
was,
super flavorful.
yes. She used to have that. And she had under the counter all week long. And then the day before, we did add the flowers. But my mom, I don't remember, but I asked Hilda, she said, yeah, we did. Because my sister Hilda's the one who used to do most of this stuff. She would have corn flour and all-purpose flour. I always thought it was just the corn flour, but she said, no, you feed both.
Okay.
That's called feeding, you know. And the more you feed, the more you leave it longer, the more that is going to give that flavor of fermented. So, anyway, I was watching the other day a lady that was doing just regular bread, and she has a little, and I mean, she had just a little bit in a jar. She just cleaned the jar. I mean, maybe about a tablespoon she had.
Oh.
And she had more flour. She only had one flour. No, she had two flours. She had the wheat and regular, because that's when it has the wheat, it gives that nutty, that nutty flavors. That's why I think with the corn, it kind of gives that nutty flavor. She had those two flours, add some water, and before you know it, she mixed it. She had about this much. And she says, now I'm going to leave it on the counter. Tomorrow, I feed it again. You know, so the more you feed it, the more you're creating, it's getting in bulk. And then she says, if I'm going to use it, I'll leave it in the counter. If not, I'll just put it in the back of the refrigerator. And it could, there's people who have had starters for years.
I've heard like the grandmother's
Yes.
starter, which
Yeah.
could be like 60, 70 years, which
Yes.
always blows my mind.
Yes. Yep. So,
I knew someone that said that they had a starter that their mom had given them, and they were going to go home and start to work on it. Well, they got busy, and it was in her purse. She said it was like a week later she discovered it. And I think she thought it was still good.
yeah.
So
Well, yeah, it probably was. because if it was not exposed to really hot heat or cold,
Yes.
it's good. It's
Yeah.
just being on top of the counter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, this is easy. I love cornbread. I like to eat cornbread with when it comes out hot and milk. That's like your mom.
Yes. Yes.
Your mom
she does.
says
do
she
that.
goes, "Oh, I want some cornbread with milk."
Yeah, she did
Yeah.
that years ago. Even with us growing up, I would see her.
She let it dry out. a
My
little
grandmother
bit.
did too.
Yeah,
Her mother
that was
did.
something that as soon as we could. My mom used to
Yeah.
make
Arvo.
what used to
Yes,
call the capiadas. It was just little ones,
Mhm.
and we would crack it in a bowl and eat it with milk. So I'm making this, and then I'm making some fish. It's like they call it calderada fish, and it has. I went through my freezer. I had 3 different kind of fish. So then I do potatoes, onions. I don't have bell peppers, but I have tomatoes, and you just layer everything, and then you just cook it in the
That
stove.
sounds good.
You know, you put the. Oh, before I
Yeah.
forget,
That sounds nice.
I talked the lady that I used to get the peppers.
Yeah.
She's going to Azor, so she won't have peppers this year.
Aww.
But I found a guy, a stand that is in Stockton. That's all they sell. is
Peppers?
Peppers, red peppers.
Oh, okay.
But they won't be done until the middle of August.
Okay. So I gotta come back.
So,
Which
so
I'm gonna be coming back.
yeah.
anyway.
So I told her, I says, okay, so I'll call you sometime in August. And she has, and the way she sells it seems like cheaper than the other lady.
Oh, nice. Does she sell it cheaper in bulk?
Yes, she can sell it by the buckets.
So you
Yeah.
put your order in, right?
Well, no, I don't put the order in because they're not ready yet.
But you don't put your order.
No.
Yeah, I want to.
So once I call and she says, okay, next week I have, then we can say, and she was gonna look exactly the price for last year. So she's gonna look exactly what she would charge last year, so she can give us. You can buy the buckets, or you
Or the
can
sack.
buy sacks. You know. So then we'll
Okay.
do.
That sounds good.
Okay. All right, friends. Now we're gonna do at our yeast or our starter, and there's 2 cups in here. So there's 2 cups of each, 2.5 of each, and then 2 cups of that. And I have extra flour.
Oh, do you have your video on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna need, because then it gets softer. And you don't have to use your hands. You can use a spoon. Now you can smell
I can smell it.
that yeast. Yeah, so I'm gonna put a cup, half of each, half of the cornmeal and half of the all-purpose.
What would happen if you just used cornmeal?
It won't bind.
Oh, okay.
Because the grounds, you need
the gluten.
the gluten from the flour. Yeah. I tried that. Didn't work. And you want this consistency. You don't want it too dry, but then again, you don't want it too wet.
So kind of sticky.
Kind of sticky. And almost like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what you want. And I remember my mom doing this. I don't know why. But I think it's to smooth the top, and then as you see those wells or those
Yes.
cuts, then
Like
you
little
know,
ripples.
you determine by how it's ready.
It'll
But
start to crack.
it will
Just
start
like
to,
this.
yes,
Oh.
yeah,
Like grains.
yeah, you'll see. That's when you know it's fermented, or it's, doing its job. And she used to smooth it. She even used to get her hand wet
Oh, and then
smooth it.
Make it smooth.
Yeah, and that's it.
Easy enough.
Like I said, you don't even need to dirty your hands if you don't want to. You just want to mix everything. And
Portuguese likes to dirty their hands.
Now I'm gonna put this behind me, covered. And actually, I'm gonna put it in my oven in proof. My oven has a proof button,
Oh, nice.
so it'll go faster.
There you go. Oh my God. Yeah, for sure.
And then we're gonna be Vavage.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm already
I don't know
Vavage.
if I'll
Yeah,
be
you're a
Vavage.
Vavage. But I'm talking like old Vavage.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
we'll go from Tia Maria to Vavage.
Okay, friends,
Uh-huh.
my cornbread is ready, and we're gonna shape it to put it in the pans to bake it. But before I do that, this is my sister-in-law, Carolina Rocha. This is my sister-in-law, Debbie Fonseca.
My
They're-
sister.
They're sisters. They've been like sister to me since I came to this
Yes.
country, so we get along just fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we had this for about 30 minutes, actually 40 minutes. We were chit-chatting, and we're gonna shape it. And I'm gonna try to divide it. It might give us more than just 3. And I put water in this bowl, and then I put some cornmeal. This is how my mom did it. And then you want to shape it.
Oh, wow. Makes a ball.
Yes.
A perfect ball.
Yeah.
And then
Without touching it.
I have my pans in here. And now we dump it.
Wow.
And then I get this wet again. This is one easy way
Wow.
to shape it so you have a nice little ball. And then we put more corn flour. And what we do is roll it around. So you want that,
That's the edges.
yeah,
Coat it.
so it coats all the way. And this is the texture. Some people have their cornbread, they shape it with their hands so the dough is more firm. And when it does that, inside it'll be too firm. It'll be too so by doing this, you pour it.
Wow. How
And
nice.
this one is done
To be baked.
to be baked. And we don't let that rise again. And because it's still coated in there enough, we can make another one. Yeah, so
Oh my goodness.
my
Look
mom
at that.
My mom used to, so I'm gonna put a little bit more flour here. She used to do with parchment paper. In Azores, we had to go pick leaves, and that's what she would pour the bread on top of the leaf.
Grape leaves or what?
No, it was contators, but I don't even know what they're. It was a certain leaf. It could even be banana leaves.
Oh, big leaves.
Big leaves. That's how she did all her bread. She put it on that leaf. No wasting here.
I got a grape leaf. Those giant grape leaves that work perfect.
Well, yeah, and I think it gives a different flavor too.
Oh.
See?
Yeah. 4 loaves.
It gives you 4 nice loaves. And now we put it in the oven.
And you don't add any more flour?
No, you don't need no more flour.
Wow. I'm looking forward to this.
So now I have my oven preheated at 425, and we're gonna put this in there for 35 minutes, and then I'm gonna lower for 400, and then
Nice.
it'll be done. See, he's already start doing the
Yes,
Oh,
the
crack.
crack.
And 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Oh, that would be wonderful. You know what I'm having for lunch?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're back with our bread.
Okay, friends, here is our cornbread on both ends. And these girls are ready to eat it.
I want a nice big slice with butter.
Yes.
They're perfect.
So now they're gonna try it. Make it at home. Anytime they crave cornbread.
Yes.
So anyway, so I have this recipe already on YouTube, but I'm gonna put this one because this is half of what I had. So I'll put a new recipe for it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Give me some thumbs up and share with your friends and your social media. And until next time, from the three of us, bye.
Bye.
Now let's dig in.
Very well done.